Hello, this is Bridget with Divine Essentials. So, I have been trying to make this video for a while. Not like weeks, but days. And everything that's going on out there in the world, like energy-wise, that's happening is a lot. And it's been like, just wow, like what the hell, holy crap. It's like an overload of stuff going on. Last night when I was doing a Zoom call with people, I was glowing during that for my membership peeps, and they were like, "You blue, and there's all this stuff around you," and oh my god. And that was with my laptop. The other day when I was getting ready to leave, I put on like my stuff like I normally do, but when I would touch my chin, it was like sparkle, like so much sparkles, like luminescence. You know how like some beaches you run in the water, it's like sparkles or whatever. It was like doing that on my face when I would touch to like, and I was like, oh my god, like I didn't want to continue doing any more stuff because I was like, I don't want the sparkles to go away, but I have not, you know, I don't think they're there anymore. But this is pretty cool. I am powerful. I'm big. Oh. Anyways, you may be having some stuff happen in your life at this time to do with different themes, because there's different things going on. There's a lot of things happening, energy. So everything I've tried to like make, post, share, speak, has not been like normal, the way that I normally would do it. Sometimes it doesn't get there at all. Sometimes it gets there, but it's like 4 hours for like a 20-minute task. That was like the other day. I shared a reel onto Instagram, and it's a minute long that you can do, tops. So even like, you know, taking a minute long video and then writing messages to do with the cards that are on the table and putting those across that video, even with all that, it's like, you know, maybe 20 to 30 minutes tops. But because of what happened once I did that, and how many other steps it took me to even like get, and it still was like not good or what it was supposed to have been. It was like an hour or 2 hours in finally that I was like, I give up. And then I had gone to my group from a membership, and I couldn't post any pictures at all, like they would not work. And then I couldn't comment on somebody's post in there, like it was like just crashing the app. And then I wrote a big long thing, and I kept copying as I was going because I'm like, I gotta save this, because, you know, stuff kept messing up. And then I got like pretty far into it, and I stopped the whole like every 5 seconds save. And it did it. It was like 2 paragraphs in, and it was like, oh bye. So those 2 paragraphs need to be rewritten now. I'm like, just weird technology mishaps is with Mercury retrograde. Then communication can be like, and our siblings, like I've noticed that theme for sure this time. Like I have 2 different people in my membership. This girl, her sister is like, I'm gonna move out, and so she's gonna be like, I might need a new roommate. And then this girl over here, she's the sister moving out, and the other one is staying, you know, wherever. So I have people on either side of the dynamic that's playing out right now, like karmic energies and stuff. It's not when I say karmic, I feel like there's like a natural like thing that people have to that word, because so many people have equated it with like evil people, but it's like karma. You know, karmic energy around the karma that you have. And if you've got a brother or a sister or a mother or father or anybody in your life on any like degree, usually there's going to be some sort of karma or karmic debt that we have with each other, or reasoning for like, hey, let's go back around and, you know, see each other again and fix that thing that we started way back then, or create some more shit to come back and fix, or, you know, get ourselves to a space that we don't have to do that. But those are some of the things that happen with like Mercury retrograde. And travel around town, like, you know, just like short travels can be, you know, like it just takes you longer. There's like an unexpected detour, or there's just like something on the path that you didn't expect. So we get that going on. And then we have the Scorpio full moon energy. So Scorpio in the tarot is the death card, and the full moon is a full moon, so full moon's always, you know, anyway. And then the eclipse is like chaos. It brings chaos, it brings transformation. It's not like a, you know, like the moon's like, oh, it's gonna last for like 3 days here, before and after. Eclipses usually impact us long term. Like, you make a massive decision in the energies, or you change a cycle, or you know, start a cycle, or you do something kind of like drastically different, or believe or see or understand, or something happens. Usually it doesn't have to be bad though, it can be good, because I feel like everybody focuses on the fact that it's bad or it's gonna be horrible. I mean, chaos is never like fun for us, because we like things to be not like that for most people. But sometimes chaos is needed. Sometimes order comes out of chaos. Sometimes you gotta have your shit shaken up to realize stuff. I'm noticing the light like behind me, and it's like there's a rainbow coming out of it. I don't know. I feel like a rainbow, the rainbow warrior energy may be kind of strong right now. That could be like getting activated in people, like this, like, I need to do something with myself, or I need to change my role, how I'm showing up in the world, because maybe I don't feel like I'm being authentic, or maybe I don't feel like I'm fulfilling my mission or my role, or maybe I'm, you know, being taken for granted, or I don't feel appreciated, or I don't want to do this thing I've been doing because it's not serving me on a soul level, or I'm not speaking my truth at the most like truth that there is. And when we have the eclipse, it's like, oh, moon, you know, oh, covers. It's like, So everybody looks at this with their own perspectives. Like, we have some people out there like, oh, well, the moon is the man and the feminine is the moon. I mean, yeah, masculine is the sun, moon is feminine. So some people are looking at it like, oh, but the eclipse, it's like pushing out energies away from each other and like into the bad. And then other people see it as, hey, they're just fucking one pretty close to each other, man. Like merging together into one. And we're taking the light and the dark and, you know, integrating that and seeing the wholeness of all things. But it depends on who you are and how you look at things, and probably what you've heard, because everybody has cognitive dissonance usually, where it's like, I learned that when I was, you know, new to things, and because someone told me that I trust and believe. That's my belief forever, until somebody can usually prove it in a significant way that I should believe otherwise. If you can get rid of that part of the self that's like, I'm just gonna immediately believe everything I've ever heard first, rather than like weighing options out and being like, well, you know, there's more than one avenue here that I can explore and find my way through, or even just take on one, but not be like, I need to hold this forever. Like, be like willing to shift what you think and believe or see, because if you don't, it's like you don't get to go further, really. You're just going to stay at that level of awareness and consciousness of what's happening in your world. So that's a thing that I feel like will probably just naturally occur during the energy stuff happening. Transformation, death of stuff. Also, I've been having so many synchronicities, like increase in synchronicities. I keep seeing like the oroboros. Like, I've tried to record this video several hundred times. I might go through and like grab all the times that I said oroboros and be like Ouroboros, 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 because then after I was like, I need to take a break, because I was starting to forget like what I had said and hadn't said. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I gotta take a break because communication not working. I saw something from, I think it was Alberto, and it was about the Ouroboros. I think it was in this book. This freaking book, man. This book is like constantly doing stuff to me. It's like every time I turn around, there's something else here in this book that I'm like, oh my god. I don't know. I think it was in here, and I don't remember exactly in what context, but it was like, oh my god, because I have been saying, like, I feel like, we're coming back full circle from what we've been dealing with, and I've had stuff come back up from, like, a long time ago, and, complete a thing, or I've had stuff that's, like, an exact thing playing out that I'd already had play out a long time ago, like it played out differently, but it's still very much the same. I don't remember what I saw. What did I... Ooh, there's a Jaguar. Oh, and it was tied... Yeah, it was tied to this, because I said to my dad earlier something about, like, because my dogs killed a serpent or a snake the other day, the day that I did the Despacho. And then, like, 7 or 8 years ago, the same type of situation played out, but they didn't get the serpent that time. But that was, at that time, I had just gotten the Mooney key rights, and, like, the first thing that you're supposed to do is connect with the serpent and build a relationship with it. And the serpent came to my yard, like, the day after my mentor told me that, and I was, like, on the phone with that, like, I'm like, oh yeah, and it came up in conversation that I always find 4-leaf clovers. Well, the next day I'm outside, and the serpent was there, and I'm like, get the dogs inside so that they don't kill it. And I went around the inside to the other door, came out, and I was like, oh, boop, 4-leaf clover, and shooed the serpent out of the yard so it didn't get killed, and then they let dogs out. Well, the other day I was in the atrium, and all of a sudden I look out, and they were killing a serpent, and I went, oh, I ran, and it was too late. They had already killed it. So I was, like, kind of upset, and then I got I got a shovel, and on my way up the hill, I found a freaking 4-leaf clover, and I was like, it's like the exact same thing that I experienced, but in somewhat, and I feel like this is like the multi-dimensional levels of existence. Like, what happens here plays out in all these other places in parallel timelines, and billions of them, but it may go a little bit different each time. You may be in a different place each time. You may be, starting something or completing something. But the oroboros is the serpent eating its own tail, and it's like a never-ending cycle. So even when it's like, oh, it's the end of a cycle, it's completion, it's over, it's like, it's gonna start again. Something else is gonna happen. So don't, like, be bad. Make it so that nothing happens, because we freak out. Oh my god. They knew stable, steady states were only temporary, because everything in the universe is in flux. In North America, shamans set fire to the underbrush, unleashing in a controlled manner the forces represented by Jaguar. This prevented lightning from starting a fire that would consume the entire forest. They recognized that chaos and order, expansion and contraction, were the natural cycle of life. When we get sick, we have an opportunity to not only regain our health, but to make a quantum leap to an even greater level of wellness. I said to my dad earlier, I was like, I'm done with the serpent level of consciousness now. I've built my relationship with the serpent. That's why they killed it, okay? Now it's time to go to the Jaguar. And the Jaguar is the one that's like, oh, like, I'm gonna shift out of that stuff of, like, base level consciousness, like, fear, scarcity, oh my god, everything's bad, I'm gonna die, like, gotta eat this whole thing now, and not be able to move. We don't want to do that. We want to, bring our awareness out of that level. But the serpent is also, it's like sexuality and healing. It's a universal archetype, has always represented the healing power of nature. The staff of medicine, or caduceus, is formed by 2 serpents intertwined around a rod. Moses carried the serpent. In the East, it's the coiled snake of the Kundalini energy. Serpent represents the primeval connection to the feminine, and thus the symbol of fertility and sexuality. Serpent does not represent sex per se. This is a common misconception. Rather, it symbolizes the essential life force that seeks union and creation. Remember that every cell in our body seeks to divide and procreate. In nature, fecundity is the creative principle of the cosmos. We can summon the creative principle from the south by calling on the archetype of the serpent. And when I work with a client who has lost passion for life, who has exhausted the energy and enthusiasm, I connect with the energies of the south and send her home accompanied by the spirit of the serpent. I know this will rekindle her longing for life. And then the jaguar it renews and transforms the life of the rainforest. Where serpent represents the power of healing, which is gradual and incremental, jaguar stands for sudden transformation, life and death. It might seem odd to us that transforming force in the universe is also associated with death, yet to the ancient Americans these two energies were cut from the same cloth. That which endured was always changing and renewing itself. That which remained unchanging perished. They knew that steady was only temporary. And then healing is a method not only for eliminating symptoms, but for achieving increasingly higher states of health. I have worked with the clients in their 60s and 70s who tell me that they have never felt better in their lives. This is the energy of Jaguar. A stable system does not change easily. People generally change when things are going right, but when things are going wrong, crisis, yeah. So they do not change when everything's all easy peasy. It's like, oh, crisis, okay, there. Therefore, it becomes a time of opportunity in crisis. We transform our bodies so that they heal more rapidly, age more elegantly, by embodying the forces of representative Jaguar. I have grown to believe the metaphor that we have 9 lives like cats. When we reach the end of those lifetimes, other people would call them stages or phases in one's life. It's important to give the old self a decent burial and leap like a jaguar into who we are becoming. Otherwise, we can spend years patching and fixing the old self that we outgrown. The jungle cat is the steward of the rainforest and the keeper of the gateway of death. Jaguar helps to dismember that which must die in order for the new to be born. The hurricane is an embodiment of chaotic power of Jaguar. A beehive or an ant colony with its complexity and beauty displays the organizing power of Jaguar. And Jaguar, at the level of a village or an organization or an individual, sometimes a marriage needs to be dissolved in order for the parties to survive and be healthy. Sometimes a village must be abandoned so that its members can thrive at different locations. All through the Americas, we find archaeological evidence of villages being deserted for no reason apparent to us. But they did that in response to cyclical nature of the order and chaos. The Maya and the Inca periodically abandoned their homes to build new villages elsewhere. A few years ago, a wildfire burned out of control throughout the highland jungle of Machu Picchu. Firefighters battled the flames for days. The flames leapt uncontrollably from one ridge to another and consumed tens of thousands of acres. And that was in the dry season. Everyone took part in the ritual. A medicine woman performed a ceremony at the ruins. Everyone took part in the ritual, even the archaeologists. As the fire entered the Inca city of light, the sky suddenly grew overcast and the rains came and extinguished the fire. The shaman claimed it was the spirit of the rainforest herself, in the form of a jaguar, that responded to her call and brought the rains. I believe her ceremony brought balance to the land and the rains came. There is a legend of Bali where it had not rained for 6 years. None of the shamans were able to bring the rains back. They were too enmeshed in the local patterns and could not influence it. Fields were scorched, the villagers were living off of the generosity of their neighbors, and a shaman from a village 2 mountains away summoned to assist. When she arrived, she noticed the misery around her. She asked the villagers for a hut where she could fast and meditate. On the 3rd day, she came out of her hut. The sky had grown dark with the clouds, and the thunderclaps echoed through the valley, and a few moments later, the rains came. The entire village came out to celebrate, and everyone was dancing in the rain. The elders inquired what she had done, and she replied, "When I arrived, your village was out of balance, that I became out of balance. This is why I had to go into the hut and fast and pray. When I came back into balance, your village returned to balance, and the rains came." When I work with a client in crisis who may feel like
life is beyond repair, I send him home with Jaguar. Often the client thinks it is only a metaphor. I know that the life and death principle represented by the Jaguar will assist him to allow those parts of himself that need to die to do so, as well as to regain hope and bring new balance from chaos. Jaguar energy can be summoned to contain the chaotic spread of a cancer or a fire through the forest. It can be summoned to assist a dying person find peace in the chaos that accompanies the dying process and guide the journey back to the spiritual world. Jungle people also revere Jaguar because it can transform heavy energies within the luminous energy field. Legend says that when the Jaguar enters a ceremony, it devours the negative emotions of anger, fear, grief. It is a spiritual cleanup crew, transforming thick, heavy energy into light. As the protector of all life, Jaguar safeguards the ceremonial space against any negative entities that could penetrate your healing circle. And when a client needs spiritual or psychological protection, I connect him with the Jaguar energy. Often he reports seeing a large medicine cat in his dreams. To use this energy to heal or bring balance to life, we must become personally acquainted with the spirit of Jaguar. So I feel like that's like something that is definitely a thing right now. For people like in this energy that we're in, just kind of like, oh, like it's time to let go of that stuff. So Pleiadian Lineup from the 15th to the 20th, it happens every May and November. That is happening right now. The 17th and 18th and 19th are like the height days of the energy. It's like basically Pleiades, Earth aligned, and this is a time when they do special projects, experiments, and weird shit. Like walk-in souls or walk-out souls or weird things that make you go, what the hell was that? 2011, I had the buzz go into this ear, boom, through my brain, out this side. That's how I could explain it. It was just, and it knocked me like down, like I had been coming down the steps, and I was like, what the hell? And that's all that it was. Like, I didn't know to what degree or why, or like it was just the first thing that happened. Then not too long after that, like the next thing that's like, memory of this was tied to this, I was looking outside like a glass door and was talking to my mom about meteors and shooting stars and like the whole thing of like what they are and why they do what they do and why they're there and like weird just like random blah blah blah. And I was like, I wasn't sure, but I was like, I feel like this is why, and blah, 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 saying all this stuff about that whole thing. And then she put the Discovery Channel on, and it like came back from a commercial, and they said everything I said, like almost word for word. I was like, what the hell? She was even like, what, why, what? Like, what? Like I did it on purpose, or like I somehow knew that it was going to say that, but I feel like those types of things started happening because I needed that confirmation to know that like the stuff that was in my brain, the weird thoughts that I was having is actually like legit. Like you're not just making it up. It's not, because it's like anybody. Like if you want somebody to continue to do something or get better at something, you give them positive reinforcement around it. You don't be like, just let them, not know. Like, did I do it right? Was that the right answer? Because if that thing didn't pop onto the TV, that whole like what I think things are, it would have just been that, and it would have ended with that, and I probably never would have like looked it up or followed around, anything about it. So I feel like they're like, hey, let's put this on TV now. Boom, boom, here you go, confirmation. You're onto something. And I was like, oh. And then I started like researching more and having more and more of those experiences where it was like I'd be guided to pop some things in to Google, and that's what I did to find out about Pleiadian Lineup. I put my birth date, Pleiadians, and like some other keyword into Google, and the Pleiadian Lineup popped up from Lavendar at starseedhotline.net. Back then, her wait to get like a star marking reading was like not long. Not like, I think it's like a year now. Back then it was like weeks. And then the pricing was a lot different. It was like, I think I paid like not a lot because I didn't really have a lot, so I wouldn't have been like buying massive amounts of something. But that's what happens, like when people become more in demand for something, the price goes up because they can't meet everybody's needs. But I found out about the Pleiadian lineup, and the reason why it was so significant in one of those like final like, okay, you cannot deny this anymore, was it was an all black website, white writing, and she had the 17th, 18th, and 19th highlighted in red. And my mother was always like, you were due on the 17th, born on the 18th, a minute away from the 19th. So it was like boom, boom, boom. Those three, hey, attention please. And I mean, I can't deny that. like that connection, it's just like, and that's what they do. So pay attention to your signs, your synchronicities, your birthdays, like what your stuff is coded with, because we're all coded. Like Taurus is my sun, Capricorn is my moon and my rising. Those things make me able to work a lot and like get through shit and be like the bull. But also, like the Capricorn was like, money, work hard, that's all I do. And then, like my name carries an energetic imprint and energy. So I identify or associate or, resonate with different things based off of that. And then the day of my birth and the timing and the numerology, all of that, like, has its frequencies and energies. It's all chosen intuitively, like, puts together, but you've got to research yourself and figure out what your stuff is telling you. And so I was doing all those things back in the day, and that's how I've, like, gathered, the beginning stages of stuff. And then I was like, okay, these things that are here, the Pleiadians, like, they're telling me stuff that's correct, or guiding me to figure it out at least. So I started listening and doing what was being guided, and that's how everything changed and got better. So Pleiadian lineup, a lot of times it could be things that like that experience where I had like the buzz go through my head. I feel like that's like a level of a walk-in, but not a full-on like, we're gonna take your entire self and remove that and bring a new person in. But it was like a new imprint came in, like a next level me was like, hey, hello, we're coming on in and we're gonna integrate. But there are people who are so far off their path, or they've signed up for specific, like, I'm gonna leave and you're gonna come in. And when that happens, they may have a near-death experience. Say the person's married, has a job, has kids, all that stuff. Like, that person leaves, that soul leaves during the near-death experience. Another one comes in and is like, who the hell are you guys? I don't like this job. I'm out of here. And changes everything about the life. But they go fulfill the mission that first person was like way too far away from ever doing. It's like they come in with a set and they do it. And usually, like, that's already been predetermined. Like you made an agreement, like, hey, if I'm down there and I'm like happy and I'm a millionaire and everything's good and I'm in love and all this stuff, it's okay to come get me if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. It's okay, I will leave, without like making a big stink about it. Like, I'll go and you come. Because it's not like us, like humanity. Okay, we're trying to save humanity. We're trying to save the planet, which is a living library. This planet is a library with all the beings that are here and all of the things that are alive. We don't want to kill it, but that's what people are doing. So we're trying to heal that and fix that and not destroy everything and like pillage everything. But it's hard because you come in here to the ego and money and stupid shit that doesn't matter. It's all made up. It's all bad things usually. It's not going to give you any sense of fulfillment. It's not going to give you any sense of like the pureness that you could have, that will come from totally different aligned energy, focus, awareness, intention. Doesn't matter what fucking car you use to get there. It matters like who you are and what you're delivering when you get there. And a lot of times the journey there makes you that person, because you suffer, you struggle, you go through the shit, and we sign up to go through it, a lot of it, so that we can empathize, understand, overcome, assist others with theirs. And that's like the hero's journey, it's like you go through something bad, come out the other side of it. Whoever's still over there on that other side, you gotta like throw them some help, get them to cross the path, or get into the next level of your journey sometimes it's overwhelming, sometimes it's like, what the fuck, I just want to like be okay, but it's like up and down, and it depends too, like what you signed up for. Some people come in and they're like, everything's fine. I'm sure they'll come back and probably have some stuff happen, but Pleiadian Lineup has that, like, okay, so there's walk-in souls. There could be like 10,000 of them that are going to come at once, but like when they come, 10,000 leave. They drop their body. Like if they decide that they don't want another soul to be like taking over that body, they'll just drop the body, and it's like they find dead bodies. Like, but it's not even like dead body, it's just like the soul evacuated. And so it's our concepts here, as opposed to like how we look at things higher level, are totally different. Like dropping the body is not a big deal. It's like it's a biodegradable thing. It's gonna go back into the earth, like where it came from. It's not gonna be like we attach to the physical because that's what we've been conditioned to see, believe, have, connect to, like as soon as we come out. But I believe, like the Moon key and stuff like that, like my thing lately has been thinking like we're going back to light. Like that's the ascension. We need to get back to a light body, because a light body isn't gonna be destroying a planet. Like we need to let the animals have it, because they don't do that. They just take care of it. They're fine. They don't destroy shit. They just live their lives harmoniously with all of the things that are here. And we come in, we're like, let's make plastic. Let's take all the shit out of the core of the earth that like makes this magnetic charge, and wonder why like the poles are shifting. Stupid shit. So I feel like because in the Moon key, it's like we're activating our luminous energy field. We're going back into like who we're becoming 10,000 years from now, and I feel like it's like it's a matter of shifting out of the low dense vibrations of the physical into the higher vibrations of light. That's going to be needed or helpful to save the planet at this point. Like we gotta leave in order to save it, I feel. And that doesn't have to be bad or scary. Like literally, like, light, free, no limitations. If you've ever astral traveled or projected out of your body, it's like that all the time. And a lot of star seeds, I feel like we're so uncomfortable here. We have so many things that happen to us that are like, it's because we did go from being light to dense physical beings. It's like being jammed into something that we don't want to fit into. And it's like, oh, this is hard, this is difficult, I don't like it. And so we hide, or like, seclude ourselves. So basically that type of stuff is happening right now with the lineup. It's basically, awakenings, walk-ins. You may have like a walk-in come in that's like a guide, and they just come in to check on you or see like what you're doing. So like if you're in the store and someone's like, do you know where the toilet paper is? Don't be like, I know I can't. Like, just be nice and do nice things for other people. And you might have a check-in on that level. So the eclipse, again, eclipsing things out of our lives, eclipsing stuff that we, like helping us to see stuff that we didn't see, bringing things back around that like started a while ago. So in that sense, like the Despacho thing, my intention was like, okay, I'm gonna do Despacho, and I recorded it, and then I was gonna go outside and burn it, and then take that video of me burning it and put it onto the end of the ceremony and share it. So if other people saw it, they could add their intention to the part in the beginning, see that it burned it at the end, and whatever. But that's not what Spirit wants, because as soon as I was done with like the people on the call for like the setting it up thing, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go burn it, and I'll make a video, put them together, and send it all out. Didn't happen because it started pouring like so bad. So I was like waiting and waiting and waiting, and finally I went to sleep. And then yesterday I woke up and I like went to make a post about the fact that I had not done that yet, And when I was writing about it, I was like receiving like, oh, I can't do that yet because they don't want me to, because they want other people to be able to add their energy before I burn it. So that's what I'm here for, is to let people add their energy to it. You don't have to watch the whole like, I'm going to show you the ceremony of me making it. If you're interested in knowing like why I put what I put in there and all of that, you probably want to watch the ceremony. There's stuff in there for all different things. It's like full circle stuff. I had a shell, like probably like 5 years ago, that I put into the center of the Despacho back then. But the thing that I had like attached to it was like oneness, universal consciousness, like all of us being intertwined and interconnected. And in the center of the shell, there was a flower that had like the flower of life patterning. And when I burnt the Despacho, the shell didn't burn, and neither did that flower. And I was like, wow. So I ended up taking that, wrapping it in plastic in there like a golden bag, and put that in the center of my mesa. And I've had that all this time. Well, the other day when I was like, I'm going to do the Despacho finally, and I made the event, the next day I see like, oh, I did a Despacho 2 years ago to the day from today. Wow, weird. And then something like, I looked up like to get like a list of the ingredients, because you can use all types of stuff and it all has a different meaning. So I was like, let me get like a list to share with people in the event description of like, hey, you can use like animal crackers to represent the spirit animals. You can do alphabet soup because you want to, step outside of like limited languages, or whatever. You can place whatever intention you want on these things, but these are like comedy, like, oh yeah, we do this one for that, that one for this. But if it's like you want to say something different, go ahead. Like cotton ball, like break up a cotton ball, here's the clouds of the universe. Sweetness of life, we use that with sugar. Because of the energies that we had going on, I was very much more so about like, let's cleanse, let's purge, let's purify, let's release, because it's chaos energy with the eclipse. And full moon is also like, hey, time to let go of stuff. Like with the new moon, we planted the seeds of potential. Full moon is culminated. Now we're gonna like get stuff out of the way so that like the new things can grow into that place of where something may have been blocking it, or we were holding on to something we shouldn't have, whatever. But a lot of times people will do like a cross in the middle of the Despacho and do it like sugar, or they will just put tons of sweet stuff in there to represent the sweetness of life and sugar, and like, make it a sweet offering for the spirit. But I felt like I needed to do more salt and more purifying stuff, and just like cleansing and releasing and healing, and like let's get back to balance, let's get back to the right reciprocity, and right action and good stuff. Plus, like, getting rid of entities, energies, darkness, dualities, stuff that's like blah, 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 or illusions, limitations, stuff that's just not, we don't need it. So I did that, and I did a lot of like symbolic stuff, which is what you do. So basically you make a bundle like this, okay? So like, you can also like basically just intend like good gratitude. Gratitude is like the main ingredient here. And when we make this, everything has the representative of like, oh, this represents that. But it's like, I want to give you nice things because you gave me nice things. And I don't have like a motive, like I didn't bring you these donuts so that you would do something for me. I brought you the donuts because I know you like the donuts. Okay? So you want to have that type of approach to it. Especially right now with like this chaos energy and retrograde energy. It's like you try to manifest something into your life, it's probably going to bring a lot of chaos, which could end up well, but we don't need to bring it on out of nowhere for no reason unless you want it. So gratitude, like you can put your hands up and beam it at this, which is also glowing, and just think in your mind like, I am grateful for the air in my lungs. I am grateful for the earth beneath my feet. I am grateful for the relationship that I have with my soul. I am grateful for all of the hard lessons that I've overcome. I am grateful for my stamina to, complete difficult things. I am grateful for the changes that have brought me like, power and beauty and things. I am grateful for my feet that carry me everywhere I go. I'm grateful for my eyes that help me to see. I am grateful for my lungs that help me to breathe. I am grateful for whatever it is that you're grateful for, and place it in here. And then something that you are ready to release. Oh, my phone's dying. Wow. It was like, boom. So you may be ready to release darkness or shadows or the illusions of things, or like thinking negatively about stuff or not seeing things clearly. Shadow, you know. So like you may have a belief that's a subconscious belief about yourself that's like, I'm no good, or I don't deserve, or I'm not worthy, or whatever it is. A lot of us have limiting things that we believe on a subconscious level sabotages us on a conscious level. So even just being like, I'm ready to release my subconscious blocks, I'm ready to release the beliefs that have been, hindering me, I'm ready to release the beliefs that have kept me from becoming who I'm supposed to be. I'm ready to let go of my fear. I'm ready to let go of playing small. I'm ready to let go of not speaking my truth. I'm ready to let go of people pleasing. I'm ready to let go of overdoing, overcaring, oversharing, overloving, doing it. I would like right relationship and balance, reciprocity, appreciation, support, love, kindness. All the things that I give out, I would like to receive back in an equal flow. And the strength to remove myself when that's not happening, or to recognize when it's not happening and not make excuses for others who don't do things, in alignment with that expectation that I'm setting up for myself. So I'm releasing my illusions, I'm releasing my fears, I'm releasing the doubts, I'm releasing the self-sabotage, or the, I'd rather stay and be abused or treated poorly than feel abandoned by somebody. So I'm not going to continue to give to my own demise. I'm not going to continue to do these things that are not right. However you want to say it, whatever you're thinking, beam it in there. And also something that you want to co-create with spirit, for not just you, we're here on a planet that's pretty big, but there's a lot of problems on it. So if you can add your energy, your gifts, your something to the world, you may know already, like I would really love to be able to use my art as a way to uplift others. I'd really like to sing, and dance and have that like inspire people. I would love to be a healer or a shaman or whatever, Reiki master, whatever it is. And it's in so I can be in service to the whole, or in service to Pachamama, in service to the earth, first and foremost. And then at that level of me doing that, being that, giving that, appearing in that way, Spirit's going to make it so that like I'm able to do that individually with people, and collectively with people, and just in multiple ways, like guiding me, as long as my relationship with the earth is good and I'm balanced and I'm like giving and receiving in a healthy way, and I'm letting go of the stuff that I need to let go of, and I'm remembering to be kind and heal, forgive myself when I forget, all of that, the things will come to me that are supposed to come to me, the opportunities, experiences, the lessons, all of that, and I will be able to deliver what I'm supposed to deliver, where I'm supposed to deliver it, and I'll know intuitively when, where, and how. And I'm just going to trust that Spirit is going to work through me. It's not me, and that's a big part. People need to be like, it's not me. Like when I do a healing, and oh my God, it's Spirit coming through me, just here, just a person, just like anybody else on this planet. Like, hi, I'm not like they, we all have the same ability to do things. We all have the same body parts and stuff. Like, not all do it, but we have to believe it. So maybe you want to co-create the belief in self to assist you in aligning into the place of being in service to the whole of humanity, collective, and energies, animals, planet, Earth, Gaia, Pachamama, the Apus, which are the mountain spirits, star brothers and sisters, the ancestors. And that's another thing, your ancestors, you want to be like grateful for them, even if they pass down stuff that's like, wow, that's not so fun. They didn't do it on purpose, you know. And it goes back 7 generations. So your great 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 grandmother, whatever happened to her, whatever happened to your great 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 grandfather, unfortunately usually comes down the line to you. But you can break it and be like, wow, it's gonna stop here. Like, if my mom beat me up and was like kind of abusive, I'm not gonna do that to my kids. So it breaks that chain of events from happening. And it doesn't have to, it could be something like where they were the victim of something bad, and so that victimhood fell onto you, but you can choose to be the victim of it or the healer of it, stopper of those patterns by belief, imprints, clearing the luminous energy field, getting the divine blueprint back to the divine blueprint that it's supposed to be, not the one that's all messed up from trauma and experiences in lives that didn't go so, like, woohoo. So whatever you want to co-create, all of that stuff, put in here. I'm gonna let this grow and like gather for a few days, and then I'm gonna burn it and, you know, do a separate video then at that time. And I'm sure there'll probably be more stuff by then that has happened, and I'm like, wow, crazy, because that's all I do. It seems like. And yeah, I feel like basically a lot of stuff is like, it's nothing to be afraid of, it's nothing to be scared of, it's not a bad thing. But everything is like coming full circle with stuff. And it could be like 2 years. Like, I've had stuff like 2 year circle, here it is. I've had a 5 year circle, here it is. And then I had like an 8 year circle, there it is. And then 4 years ago to the day, moved into this place. And when I lived with my ex, and we left the house that we had to go live in the basement of his parents' house for 4 years, it was on my birthday that we left that house. And on my birthday 4 years ago, I moved into this house. And it's always like on my birthday that I'm like moving houses. But my birthday is Pleiadian Lineup. So it's like, we're gonna do a new experiment. We're gonna give you some new stuff around your situation. So look at your experiences. You know, it's a little bit easier now with Facebook memories and shit. It's like, oh my god, I did that thing that day. Like, I've had it happen where it's like, I won't wear a shirt or a pajama, like pants or something, like for an entire year, not once. And then like the day that I wore them a year ago, I wear them that day. And I'm like, wow, that's fucking weird. Like, only one day a year I wear this thing. But it's like stuff like that. Multiple times I've had that happen, where it's something I don't ever wear it one time, and it happened to be the same day from the year before. And it's like, wow, that's creepy. And it just shows you that there's a lot of stuff here that's like energetically aligned, like frequencies of like, I'm gonna wear that thing right there, even though it's a simple thing, but it's energy, the color of it, the structure of it, the feeling of it, or like the temperature outside. It's all like, oh, because of this condition, I'm gonna do this thing, cause and effect. When we become more aware of that whole thing, we can be much more impactful with our effect and not allow cause to be so bad in our own lives. Like we can look at it more objectively, or be like, wow, like, they kind of suck, yeah, that person's like a dickhead, but whatever, like, I'm not gonna let that cause me to derail myself completely, or become so upset by that, or, you know, not continue on with something that I wanted in my life, or become a victim of it to the point where it's like, ugh, you know, it's like we have the choice always to be affected to a really bad place, or take it and turn it into something good, which was also something I saw in that book, because there was like a thing that was like a person had been bad experience, and instead of like her daughter had died, and she spent like a year in grief and bad situation, but then like a year later she came out of that and went and helped other people to deal with their situation in that way. So she took her grief and her pain and turned it into something positive. And I've done that with stuff too, like that I've experienced throughout my journey. It's like, oh, that really sucked, but I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna, turn it into something more positive. So you can always do that. You don't have to be the victim of it or stay in that place. Um, so I'm gonna go get the other video, link it onto this video, put that up there, and then in a few days I will burn this and put that out as well, so other people, everybody can see that it's done. That's the thing. Like when you're done with the Despacho making it, you don't want to like bumble it all around because you want to keep the prayers safe. But within like a week or two, somebody should be responsible for either burning it for rapid, fast transformation, bury it for slow, steady transformation, put it into the running waters for pretty good movement of stuff happening. Say you burn it, and like that time where I burnt it and like that flower didn't burn all the way, I could have taken like the remains and put it into the water or buried it, but for some reason I was needing to keep that shell for all that time. But now I'm giving it back, so it's like, oh, close the net. Serpent, close the net. Jaguar, here I come. Luminous body, woohoo! Weird stuff. So hopefully this will make sense, help people some way. I don't know. Inmune, namaste.
Hours and everything else. So, all right, we're doing a Despacho. Hopefully this is gonna help because puts everything back into like right relationship with the universe, with the guides, the masters, like they do it in Peru, the shamans, because they want to like make a offering, but they have them for different reasons. Sometimes they do it for to release, sometimes they do it to bring in, sometimes they do it to honor like somebody who passed away, or just like an element. It's really it's all intuitive, and there's not like I don't feel like there's a wrong way to do them, but right now the energy that we have is kind of like chaotic and intense. So you don't want to be like, let me manifest some stuff into my life, because that shit's going to be chaotic and crazy. Like, not necessarily the best time for that. But good time for releasing, letting go, clearing and purging. And you get a piece of paper. They used to do it with like cloth. You get out of the way, please. Oh my god, my dogs will not go outside unless I go with them, and it bothers me so much because like it's nice out and they just cry and they act like they're dying because they want to go. Like, go live your life, man, do it. I don't need to be there. All right. They used to do them with cloth, but now they can do it with paper. You can do it with colored paper. You can do it with whatever you really want. I've done like different things. I just pulled this out of the thing I have downstairs. It's craft paper. It's kind of thick. And then I have these papers that are really big. So I might use one of these because it's kind of like making a bundle, like it's kind of like the mesa that I have, but it's like its own little package. All right, so this is kind of too big, but it's like make them extra large. But you can cut a piece of it off and use something like that, whatever you want, really. I'm just going to use this one, even though it's really thick. I think it'll probably just be good for the holding it all in there. So basically, we're making like an offering to spirit. So we're going to do like different things that represent different stuff. So basically,
the paper itself, like you could write on it your intention, you could like paint it and do like decorative things on it. If you were trying to manifest stuff into your life, I might do like you know, affirmations surrounding that. But where it's like to release, you would probably want to do more so like, let me release stuff, let me, like, you know, I let go, I am open to the changes that are happening. And you want to fold it into 3 and 3 so that it makes 9 squares. So I'm going to fold once, fold twice, like, then do the other way. Fold once or twice, and then when you open it up, that, oh wait, is that right? Yeah, 9. I can't do math. And so you like work with the center. Everybody has their own ways of doing it. Like I've noticed, like Alberto has directions on his website. And he doesn't include certain things that other people say, like, you know, do this thing or do that thing. But other people like go to his site and take his information and add it to their stuff, even though they have other stuff from his. So just like when they do the rites themselves or anything with spirit, I always tell people to make it their own, you know, get creative in what you're going to do and just try to go along with whatever's happening universally. Like if there's a lot of, you know, energies that are conducive for something, try to go along with whatever it's conducive for. Now I'm going to do something different from what I normally do. Well, not normal. It's basically the first time that I did one of these in my house when I was living in the water. The last house that I was before here, I did a despacho, and sometimes I didn't even know like this part about it, but I used this shell when I did it. And I put like flowers in it and, you know, made it as a part of the thing. And then I burnt my despacho. And afterwards, the only thing that was left was like the shell. But the flowers that were inside of the shell were kind of still like intact and they weren't really burnt or anything. And instead of like, because if that happens, like if you burn one and you notice that there's like stuff left over, that could just be intentions that weren't ready to be released or they weren't ready to manifest. So you could bury it for steady transmutation, or you could put it into the water to like, you know, let the waters like rush it in. You could try to burn it again, I guess. I feel like you probably shouldn't do that. It's kind of like just honor what's happened. But for some reason, I was guided to like take this and add it to my mesa then. And that was way back before I even like really knew that it was officially carrying around. Like back in the day, I was just like throw all my stuff in there and take it with me. It wasn't until I went to that class and like learned, you know, oh, this has a direction and that has a reason. But I had this in here for a while. And when I started to connect with the energies that I was going to be connecting with tonight, I was like, this came into my mind, the shell. So I'm going to add this into it as the shell, which they can use as the womb of the divine feminine. Was one of the things that somebody had written about, you know, adding one shell into your center of your despacho to be the womb space, to be that creative energy, to give birth to stuff. But I feel like this cycle that we have happening right now with like the eclipse and everything that's going on, it feels big. It feels like really like something big is going to happen, or is happening to all of us. And I feel like whatever like came about because of this being in there is kind of like it's like, okay, now it's like full circle, letting it go back, and ready for the next chapter, whatever that looks like, however that's going to manifest. And then another thing that you might want to add to it is like a piece of either plate money or actual like, you know, coin or something, for the thing to like manifest so that you know you're going to be successful. So I have a coin in my, what do you call it, the mesa, but it's not like one I want to give to a fire. It's like an ancient coin that I found in my yard. This is not the right pocketbook. Oh, you know what? I got this thing. I don't know what this is, but it's probably something like worth money. It's 1927. It's got an eagle on it. It's $quarter. I think this is probably, do you guys know what this is? Do you guys, like, is anybody out there a coin expert? Is this something that's like different or unique, or is it going to be like, don't fucking put that into the thing, Bridget? It has an eagle on it. I feel like we could, use that energy of the eagle. It says East something or other, but it's like 1927. I feel like it's probably silver, like real, like back when they actually used to make money with, like, stuff that was real. But I'm gonna put it in there. It's not gonna burn anyways. It's just gonna be in there so I can retrieve it when it's done. But it's 1927 coin. This is the one we're gonna give for the abundance or the manifesting of our stuff.
Traditionally, in the U.S. Coins, an eagle was $10.
Oh, this is?
I don't know if that is, but that's kind of the idea.
Okay, cool. It's not too bad then. As long as it's not like $10 million, we're all right. Like, I want to be throwing in there something that could change all our lives. I don't even know where it came from, but it has the eagle on it, so it feels like it makes sense. And then that just reminded me, I did some channeling. I don't think I still, I don't have it right here, but the thing that I wrote, it was like something like the owls or something like the avians or the owls. It was like very much like what you had mentioned when we did the star rites, and it made me think of you, but I don't know where I put the paper. But like, I made a video on Bridget Rao channel and on the Divine Essentials channel recently, and one part in there is when I read off the paper, so you can see what it says on there if you wanted to, but it reminded me of you. It was like they are like the owls, or they are like the eyes or something. I can't remember exactly what it said, but it was something to do with the owls and the avians and that energy that I had connected to you with. All right, so inside of here, as we're releasing, and we have this like it feels like there's like a void almost, or something's like empty or hollow. I feel like I'm just gonna do a circle inside of here. Draw, like, I have this. I'm just gonna trace it. You don't have to draw in them. You don't have to do things. I just do what I feel like is guided to be done for some reason. Sometimes I know, sometimes I don't know why I'm doing stuff. All right, so and then, oh my God, the dogs killed a snake today, and that started my day. And it was big. It was like a pretty good sized snake for, around here. I'd say that it was probably like at least this long, and they got it before I could get them, and they team up on stuff when they're together. But I felt bad because I felt like, I don't know, but that's connected to the past. Shedding our skin really, but he killed it. So I'm like, well, they kind of like put a stop to that. I don't know. But I have the snake out there. I want to like bury it. I have it on the, I shoveled it to the side for now because they were trying to kill it still, even though it was dead. I'm going to draw a thing down the center here to represent, because the eclipse is also about like balancing the duality, like there's the light and the dark. So I'm doing that just to represent that. Bringing harmony. All right, harmony up here in the north, because I feel like that's where we want to go, is to harmony. So like we're headed towards the north, and our future direction, the south is our past. So we're releasing past hurt, anger, stress, limits, doubts, and fears, and lower vibes. All right. Harmony and peace. Okay, so in the description of my event, I did write some things about like what the Despacho is and all of that. And inside of it, I gave you guys like couple of things that you could think about. I don't know if everybody saw it. I'm sure some may have missed it, but basically it was kind of like a little thing to think about in terms of setting intentions for this. And I said it in a way so because I didn't know how many people would come to this. I didn't really even promote it because it's been a hard day. Like, yeah, I can't get any electronics to work. I couldn't get my body to function properly with the itchiness and stuff. And that just kind of happened out of nowhere. I don't know why. But when I wrote the thing, I said basically, you know, you can say it out loud if you choose, or basically, you know, think it in your mind when I'm doing this part of stuff. And let me see what I wrote specifically. Okay. Set the intentions along with me and learn how to do this. Okay, go down. Down. All right. Please, let me see. All right, so to help to restore balance, healing, and right relations with the universe, I've been trying to do this for a while, and the day after I made the event, because I made it at night, the next day I went onto Facebook and my memories popped up on Facebook, and I had done the last Despacho I had done 2 years ago on that day. So it was like to the day. All right, so the full moon eclipse on the 16th is an intense time to release all that no longer serves. So before the event starts, be prepared. You could think about the things that you're going to be grateful for, because gratitude helps us just to like shift vibes anyways. So you could think of 3 different things that you are grateful for, and then the things that you are ready to release times 3. So like, you know, I want to have like, and if you can't think of 3 things you want to release, then, you know, maybe 1 thing that I'm going to release and 1 thing I'm grateful for, or, you know, just try to keep it balanced, because we're keeping like balance within our energies. And then what you will be prepared to work with spirit to co-create in your life moving forward. So as I make this thing, I'm going to add stuff in here that has different meaning and connects to different things, but they call it a quintu, basically. I ordered these flowers. I didn't get to pick them out myself, like they came from the store. And we don't have like the same stuff they have there in Peru. But the picture had like nice open flowers. These ones are all like closed up and stuff. So basically I have roses. But I do have some flowers right outside the front door that are in bloom, so I could grab those. But basically I would, you know, take like 3 leaves, and then one of the colors. Sometimes they do like carnations, like red and white carnations, but I always kind of just make this unique and different for however the energies align, or whatever feels right for me to get connected to it. But you would take like something like this and then blow into it the intention, and then set them, you know, balanced throughout the thing at different places. So there'll be times that like I'll hold it up and let you guys like intend your intentions into them. And thinking like, well, okay, I want to co-create this with spirit. I want to make that thing happen in my life. I want to get rid of that other thing that's been bothering me. All right, so we're going to have harmony and peace as we move forward. we are releasing all of that stuff. East is energy, the eagle condor, and the rising sun, masculine. And then over here, we have Jaguar, who knows the way across the rainbow bridge and protects us in our medicine space. And it's connected to the feminine, the womb space, and our sexual energies. This is about pursue, protect. And then for the north is the hummingbird, and that's to make it through the seemingly impossible journey of life and to remind us to stop and have, you know, the sweetness in our lives. So hummingbird, strength to make it across impossible and brings joy and sweetness. I had a hummingbird the other day come right up to my head, like my face, and buzz me, and I was in my atrium. I didn't even step out of the house. It was like right up to my face. I think that was the day that I had been connecting with Abby, and she had a thing go down with her dog, and it really messed me up like bad. So I felt like the hummingbird came in specifically like connected to that, to like get the strength to overcome, you know, the energies that were connected to that situation. This is kind of like a layered situation too. It wasn't like as it appeared. It wasn't, you know, people doing things just because they're people, and it's not always the best things to deal with in life. But I also know that everything happens for a reason, and whenever anything happens with the animal, I can't handle it like as much as I can when something happens with like a human. It's not as bad for me for some reason. It's not that I don't like humans. It's just that like the animals are innocent, and I get really hurt by when they have to, you know, have bad experience. I want to be what you doing. Oh, we got these too. I've got my stuffs. It's kind of just like symbolic, like there's a whole list of stuff in the event too, so if anybody needed to make one themselves, they could see like what things represent. So like if you had a cotton ball, you could use that to represent clouds, or you could use it to represent whatever you wanted, really. It's up to your intention, really. But oh, somebody got kicked out. Admit. I wish that thing would just like work on its own. Why isn't this open? It's in here. I don't even know. Oh, I know it's in there. That's why it won't open. I'm like, don't ever open it, Bridget. Dark. I had it in my mind. Oh, I know where it is. I got rose petals and lavender and chocolate and alcohol, Malibu, and I don't even know what this is. Sparkling wine. I'm not going to use both, but when you make a despacho, they recommend having, you know, alcohol to give to the spirits, but also it like ignites the fire, as long as you don't soak it. I've had times where I've made it too wet. I didn't even mean to pull this down. This is something. This is like a token, dude. It's some sort of. Who are you? Pray for us. That's what it says on it. It says pray for us. I've had this like just hanging on my whatchamacallit. I have like a lamp over there, and on the switch, this was hanging on it, but this I originally ran into this at my ex's house that I lived with for a long time. And I don't know why it was there. I don't think, like, he wasn't into church. He didn't do any prayers or anything like that. But it was there. And I don't know who it is specifically. It says Lucy, Saint Lucy. Does anybody know who Saint Lucy is? You're welcome to unmute yourselves and speak if you like. I always feel weird talking for everybody, but St. Lucy is here, and I feel like that's for a reason. So I'm going to put St. Lucy in as well. All right, and I also have these little charms here. See what ones want to go in. Today I found a 4-leaf clover. When the dogs killed the snake, I went over to get the snake up from the ground, and I brought the shovel over and everything, and then I'm walking back up the hill, and I was like, oh, boom, like right there. And the last time that happened, it didn't happen the exact same way. Years ago, right after I got the first Moon Kiwi rights sent to me, the foundation ones, the harmony right, you have to meditate and connect with the different archetypes. Well, the serpent was the first one, and one day all of a sudden we were out in the yard. They started freaking out. They saw a snake. A serpent was in the yard. They didn't kill it. I got them in the house, and then I went around the other side to come out of the other side of our basement. And when I did, I started to walk over to like shoo the snake out of that area that they would be able to get it if they went back out. And as I was like walking over there, I was like, oh, boop. And it was a 4-leaf clover. And I had just told the mentor that gave me the rights like the day before. I was like, oh yeah, I find 4-leaf clovers all the time. So today was almost like a synchronistic, like, again, like that completion thing. Like this started way back then, and now it's like, closing up in this one. Like almost the same event played out a little bit differently. Today they got the snake, but it was just so weird for those like little moments to happen. And then last night I was talking to somebody that I gave the rights to a long time ago, and he's been very much aligned with the rights and changing his life and manifesting and healing. He wrote a book, and he's like opening his own space, and he always is doing stuff at the same time. I found out he's born during the Pleiadian lineup as well. So it was like all of a sudden everything made sense as to why he's always been so closely related to what things are happening in my life at the same time with him. All right, so I'm gonna put these guys in here too. We have like a little, I don't know who they are, but I feel like we could like represent like Archangel Michael. And then there's a like a cross thingy with wings, so it's like angelic support. This reminds me of a gong, and I keep getting pulled to get a gong again to use in the meditations and stuff. So it's like, and the gong sounds like the universal like boom energies, so bringing in that galactic vibration and frequency. And then there's a little flower. We'll put that in there. It's same as this. This is wax melt that I made, a while ago, but it has, I think this is sex magic one. So it has like a, different vibration in there. Bring those in there, but then the rose is there, and we have the roses here too. So roses are all about love, healing, that I look at the rose as like the journey of love too, because it's like it blossoms and it blooms and it's so pretty, but then over time it wilts and it starts to like decay and it starts to, mess up along the way, and falls apart, and it, it has thorns and it hurts you. does all that shit that we don't necessarily like. And then the next year it comes back and it blossoms again. So it could be seen as like, you know, love coming back that, you know, you had once, like somebody returns, or new love coming in to replace it. Some people do a cross in the center. Some people don't do the cross in the center. So it's really up to you. I'm going to do a little bit of a cross here. It's kind of hard to get it to be perfect, but this is salt. So it's like cleansing, purifying. A lot of people will do sugar for like sweetness, but because again, we're releasing and we're healing and we're harmonizing and trying to come into that right balance, I feel like purifying energies are more aligned with our vibrations today. And I have plenty of stuff to put in there that's sweet, so we're not going to miss out on that. But so, right there, boom, boom. And if you are somebody like me who's a little weird, like about perfectionism, this is a journey and a half to make it not kill you and be like, oh my God. All right, so I'm going to take this out of here. This is the womb energy. And when I put this in here originally, I felt like it was like because I didn't think of the feminine thing. I didn't know that concept or hear about the people who did the shell thing for that. When I did it, it was like my idea of this was it was representing like the all that there is. It was representing like the galactic energy and like the universal energy and all beings in all places, and you know, the interconnectedness that exists among all of us. And I have not opened it or done anything with it since then. And it's been in the mesa, like, you know, slammed around and stuff, so it's kind of messy, but still there. Holy crap. It's like back when I first did this, it was still colorful and stuff. Like the flower part here was all still colorful. I'm not sure. Oh, that's like a Palo Santo stick that I had placed in there a long time ago. And even the shell has broken a little bit, but my thing was like, I want to have this represent all of us, our interconnectedness, and you know, everybody. So I'm gonna put that in there. Still holds that energy and vibration of the interconnectedness of all of us and everybody and all those things, but also has that added energy now, that new wisdom that I did not know about, the, you know, putting this in there to represent divine feminine. I'm also going to put this money right in here on this so that it manifests and that it makes it a successful one. And I put this guy in here, the angelic support. I feel like it's like Archangel Michael support. Sananda came into my mind for some reason. And these ones, the Saint Lucy, I feel like she's the feminine, and then this one is the masculine. I don't know exactly who he is. Doesn't have a name on him, but oh wait, there's two. There's an inner child as well. So this side is like an old man, or like, you know, the man version. And then on this side, it's like the inner child version of that person. So I feel like we have our inner child, ourselves, and then divine feminine, divine masculine, and it says right on it, pray for us. So, you know, pray for us, help us, man, love us, support us, heal us. And then the rose, bring us on that journey of love. And the gong, take us out to the galactic vibrational frequencies for expansion and understanding and awareness. And then this does have that vibration of passion and desire and aphrodisiacs and all of that. So it's like, you know, cleansing and purifying, releasing anything that maybe we have shame around, or maybe we've held on to out of fear, or maybe we haven't truly embraced our sexuality or our sensuality because of society's beliefs or things that go on in this world that aren't always conducive or helpful for people. You know, it's like sometimes we have a hard time with that stuff. And again, I'm gonna put it two in there because I feel like it balances it. Okay. And then I have more rose petals, which they say that like adding flowers is good for bringing beauty to your stuff. But again, I feel like rose is more so like love and nurturing. It's divine feminine energy. It's like that soft, gentle embrace. So anything that we're purifying out, we're asking for softness with that as well, so that our lives don't go into chaos overnight. And then with the lavender, this is again relaxing, calming, soothing, healing. I can't remember if he wrote specifically about that. Rice is for fertility, abundance. Different types of grains or sustenance. Gifts. Nuts are for the plant people. Beans are for protection. Animal crackers are for the animal spirits. Alphabet noodles to step outside of language. Candies and all of that is good for the sweetness. Chocolate, Pachamama's chocolate. Loose sage and other incense will help to like cleanse dense energies. Black licorice is protection. Like candy frogs or gummy frogs are good for fertility. Mother Earth, healing, fertility. And then the plain money or one piece of money for the ensuring the success of your despacho. And rainbow yarn we can use to represent the rainbow bridge. Red and white ribbons can be representative of our path, like our physical red, like the blood, and then the spiritual is the white. So our natural spirit tied into that. Together they are the Hatan, which is the great road to the stars, and it represents the two energies that exist everywhere in our cosmos, in our lives. And then the flower petals are for healing, and they also make the beauty bundle beautiful. And the beautiful offering for spirits to eat, which is why we include the things we appreciate the most. And when you've placed all the items in the despacho, then you create a bigger square overlapping the corners. Tie the despacho without flipping it over so that you don't mess up the prayers and the intentions that have been placed inside of it. And then we offer it back to the earth in however way, we feel we want to do that. So for me, I'm gonna burn it. I'm not gonna like do it right like at the same time, but I will record it and then post it onto places so people can see that. But when you put it into the fire, you don't want to like stare at it either, because you want to have non-attachment to the outcome. So we don't look at it. It kind of represents that, like, I'm good with whatever happens. But some people do look at it. There's guys that will do so for some reason. Everybody's got their thing. This is perfume. There's black rose that I just pulled out. And then there's amber moon. And shamaness. So I feel like a couple of drops of each of these will be good. They kind of go along with our theme. And it's also got that alcohol. It's like two things in one. It's going to help us to ignite our bundle. It's going to help us to bring the sweetness to our bundle. And it also has those vibrations of things that are aligned here. So the shamaness, if I can open it. Asked to bring the divine energies of the shamans to our bundle to protect our space, to give us the eyes of the shaman, the wisdom of the shaman, the ability to perceive the invisible world, to connect with spirit, to see the synchronicity, to follow the signs, and embrace the gifts of Earth and to thank Pachamama for all that she provides us. The amber moon is like that nighttime energy. It's the unknown, it's the intuition, it's the things that we don't see. It's the high priestess, it's the owl, it's the intuition. I feel like we're going to have a lot of things coming up to be seen. And it'll be helpful to have your intuition when there's going on to dictate what you should be doing with your movements forward. Closing out cycles or starting new ones, releasing people, places, and things. The black rose. I feel like this is like a protective one. So it's like a protector of love. It's also the duality of love. It's the hurt that comes with it sometimes. But it makes us stronger. Makes us more powerful. It's like it won't come out. Come out, man. There we go. And I did bring up my Moon blend. And this has Palo Santo, cedarwood, and sandalwood. So again, very protective, earthy, grounding. So it's going to help ground the energies. It's going to help protect the energies. It's going to cleanse the energies of our lives, of our space. And then I brought up some cinnamon sugar. This is good for abundance and like sweetness and all of that. But I'm more so using it for the intention of like bringing something sweet to this for the spirits. To give them abundance and love and support. And we have enriched long grain rice. And the rice is fertility, bringing your prayers into fruition. That'll be helpful. Actually, I'm going to do some quintos before I put that in. I feel like those should go on top of that. This is the chocolate that'll go on top of that. This is all done. I did bring up oatmeal too, but I think the oatmeal is kind of the same thing. Very well, sustenance. I got maple brown sugar or maple brown. Why is it two different things? Oh, it's like a cheap kind and a good kind. Another thing that was kind of weird today, I didn't intend for this to happen, but I found this, which is the first deck that I ever even like played with, like made myself by hand. You know, like I ordered postcards off of Amazon, and then I just like ripped them in half and put messages on there. But it was pretty cool because the messages that are on here feel like the culmination of the energy. Like, and these have been sitting in a drawer for years. Like it was like 2 years ago when I first started doing the deck stuff. So this one right here is oneness. Our next phase is one of completion and wholeness. I love you as you are in this moment, and I'm coming. Then we have gratitude, which says focus on the aspects of this journey that brings you joy. Practice gratitude to assist in bringing forth more of the good, balanced, peaceful parts of this story. And I am grateful for you. And I just got union. As you unite the masculine and feminine within the universe, you will unite you within the physical. And this will be the final union. Separation is a part of the past. And now endings and beginnings, every phase must be completed before the next begins. What beliefs are keeping you stuck? Let's clear them and move on with transmutation. The relationship is transforming, shifting. We are becoming our best selves, and they will be back better than ever. And Divine Feminine tunes into the cycles of the moon, utilizes the energies for manifesting, releasing, balancing the Divine Feminine side. And we are meant for infinite love and expansion. We are abundant. We will continue to manifest all of our desires. And then partnership. I know you are my divine counterpart. How can you be a better partner to self? And then you are close. Don't give up now. You are so close to shifting into the next part of the journey. I am so close to you, closer than you realize. With ascension, things are progressing as they're meant to. Divine timing is at play here. I am growing for you, and I have loved you for lifetimes. Our love is of self, is guiding us back together in this life with hope. Your hope keeps me closer to you than you know. You're so beautiful, and we are mirroring, triggering each other for healing, expansion, regardless of how things seem now. Clarity is coming so that we can go to that wholeness and oneness. So I was actually thinking of making this deck, like, you know, actually bringing it to fruition in a physical form. When I saw that, I forgot that it even was in there. What is this? What is it? I think I made this for the dogs. There's Pleiadian Passion. We'll bring, right now we have a Pleiadian lineup happening. And my Pleiadian Passion has rose in it. So I'm going to use some of this. This helps to bring in that vibration of the Pleiadians. It's Angelica root, which is very high vibrational. Alimi, which is like very sweet. Rose, which is that love that like wraps around you. And then lavender, again, very calming, relaxing. So it's like it relaxes you to go into a place of meditation, and then engulfs you in the love that we, you know, originated within. And it raises our vibration, our consciousness to be up into the energies of that higher awareness. So they say like create like a foundational, you know, system here. I try to just make it look nice, you know, like a blessing. So I guess I will go first, and I'm just gonna say mine in my mind. And first thing that I'm gonna do is for gratitude, and then the next time around it will be for releasing. So I am grateful. You blow the intention right into them, if you have the ability to do that. You can intend it. And then here's another. Boom, boom. They use cocoa leaves in Peru for a lot of these things, but bay leaves can also be, they're kind of like similar in size, or a good substitute for when you're doing this stuff. So I guess I'm gonna just go down the line. Holly, you can imagine something that you are grateful for and just send that energy into the Quintu. And then create a nice banish. Pretty, pretty. And then I didn't even know if these would be like what kind of flowers these were actually going to be like, and they work really well for what we're doing. So good job, universe. I have Lisa. She could set some gratitude into the Quintu. Creating the balance. And a 3. And Rick can do some gratitude into the Quintu. Awesome sauce. Okay. And then I feel like I need to take some of these guys because these are here. 1, 2, 3. And 3. And this time I'm going to think of something that I am ready to release and let go of from my situations of life so that I can be free, lower vibrations. Because I kind of want you to. Okay. And then these guys. Boom, boom, boom. In. Do, do, do. This is going into the Serpent past, releasing that no longer serves us. Now, the last thing I want to do is that, like, what I'm going to co-create with. And again, you could even just like intend, like sending more energy, like you can send it from your hands, you can send it from your third eye, anything that you can think of or that you need to release or you want to cleanse out of your life. Now is the time to be thinking those things. And I'm going to make my co-creation with spirit. What do you want to co-create into your life, Holly? Create love, you could create abundance, you could co-create something that's peace across the earth, all peoples, whatever you want. Co-creating with Pachamama, co-creating with the spirit of the earth, co-creating with the spirits of our guides, our masters, our ancestors, who we are in the future, 10,000 years from now, who we've already been, all versions, all timelines. I need one more leaf, man. What'd you do? Guess you're gonna get 4. So, again, co-creating with spirit. Lisa, what would you like to co-create into your life? with spirit and the guides, the archetypes, the masters, the beings of light. And we're placing this in the sector between this time. So we're right in between our becoming of our new versions of ourselves. Ooh, these are big ones. The big support from the universe here. Oh, it's like reminds me of a frog, like a lily pad. So I feel like you're gonna be taking a leap. Oh, maybe this is to do with your partnership, or something that it takes two to tango. It just didn't feel right with only one. But this is big, man. Big co-creation. Whatever you want to work with spirit. I feel like I'm gonna put this like on top, like make like a little safe little place here for everybody. Okay. So we've done that stuff, and I'm gonna put this little ladybug and the horseshoe, the ladybug and the horseshoe for luck and love. The ladybugs represent twin flames and stuff like that too, I guess. I didn't know, but it is like a love one. And so like I could put a crystals in there. Maybe oh, you know what? I have some quartz, which is an amplifier and a magnifier, and then I have some unakite, which is green and pink, and it's like good for the heart, you know, love and manifesting, like balance. And it goes with, it's like green, it like matches it. So balancing that energy of the masculine, the feminine, the heart, with our compassion and our love. And then the quartz is rutilated quartz, so it actually, you know, will amplify and magnify our intentions. And then I have petrified wood, and I have tree agate and sodalite, which is good for communication, throat chakra, speaking our truth. The tree agate is another, like, you know, opening our heart energy. Alright, so I'm gonna put some of these guys in here just to kind of add some more balancing energies within. This is the, what do you call it, petrified wood, so it's kind of like I feel like stability, you know, like solid, like foundation, grounding energy. It's going to help to like solidify our stuff. I want to put it down here with the past, and then the tree agates I put on each side here, and that's good for our heart and connection to Pachamama, spirit of the earth. And then for the throat, for the communication, speaking our truth, hearing the truth from others, I put it right there where I feel like the throat would be. And then I'm going to do a feminine and a masculine quartz, so that we can amplify and magnify the intentions, the energies, the vibrations and frequencies for both masculine and feminines, surrounding the releasing, the healing, the harmonization, the balancing, the uniting of these two energies. And it feels like this is like the uniter. It's like I'm bringing it all into fruition. So I'm going to put this right here, kind of near the solar plexus heart area, with that lucky charm. I'm gonna take a picture too, so you guys will be able to see later. And the rice is good for the manifestation, the sustenance, like bringing it all in. It's ready to come out. Making it rain. Oh, it's like the wedding day. Go to the wedding and throw the rice. Celebrations. It's kind of like what I felt or saw happening. Right. I feel like it's like the clouds, like the energy of like the sky and the clouds and all that. And that helps us to see through the other dimensions and stuff, see beyond the limitations of the earth. And again, connecting with that blue energy. But I feel it's like bringing down that energy of the sky, the light, the love into our love lives, our harmony, our experiences. Me to like try chocolate from across the world. I did like a video a while ago, so it's just been like sitting there. But Pachamama don't mind. She just puts her chocolate in for Pachamama. And the spirits, the sweetness, the yumminess, the yum yum, decadent milk here. And it has little lines on it. It's kind of like pyramids. Reminds me of pyramids. And it's kind of like, oh, look at one from each person. The feminines and the masculines. Co-creating. Balance. Peace. All that stuff. I don't even know what this is. I never even opened this one. Some sort of chocolate. Oh. An L. Holly. And is there a me? B. There we go. And the numbers, in case anybody wants to know, I've got a 3 for B, a 4 for H, a 1 for L, and a 1 for R. So 1, 1. The 4 is good for foundation. 3 is good for transmutation. Oh, and there's the 144 thing. A lot of people talk about that. But I feel like it's like the 11, you know? You get the 11, 11. Oh, and it's left and right. So this one's going on the left, this one's going on the right to balance the 1, 1. And the 4 actually is it's weird because Holly's got like a foundation, you know, like the 4 pillars. And she got 4. So she's like freaking foundation man. And then me, I'm the bridge that puts it all together. All right. Our prayers. Peace, happiness. Thank you, Spirit, for all that you bless us with, for all that you created, our lives, for all the signs, the synchronicities, the messages, the guidance, the support, the ups, the downs, the in-betweens. If we didn't have the bad, we wouldn't know the good. If we didn't have the good, we wouldn't know the bad. Wouldn't be so bad, but whatever. It is what it is. All right, we got our flowers. I'm going to take the rest of the one that I've been killing here and place that in. So if you want to add any more little feelings or thoughts, feel free. Very loving, very beautiful. feel like we like signed it. We've imprinted on it. Say thank you for all the people who have been in our lives, that have supported us, that have taught us lessons, that have created abundance into our experiences, both good and bad, made us stronger, made us happy. We're thankful for all the opportunities, the blessings, and the journey. For love and the highs and the lows, the good and the in-between. And we are safe, strong, powerful beings, manifestors, supported by the universe. Sweetness of life. Trials and tribulations. Okay. These are not open yet, so I feel like these are, placed in there for the people in the collective who may watch this later or want to add their intentions in, or even if you think of something later on that you forgot tonight or you wish you had said, these are here as like, they're going to blossom, they're going to bloom, they're ready for somebody else's prayers to be added at any time. Opportunity, little seeds that are going to blossom and bloom and grow in our lives. And that is one final kintu. All of us can collectively add our energies to this one with intention, for the gratitude that we have for the opportunity to come into right balance with the universe, the energies, the opportunity to heal and to grow, and the opportunity to release all that has held us back in our lives. This eclipse will eclipse out all things that are no longer in alignment with us. And we walk into the light, balanced with the dark, balance between the feminine and the masculine, with support from the universe, with strong foundation beneath us, and a strong energy above us, protected and guided everywhere we go. A little bit of alcohol. I haven't opened this in so long. Give a shot to Patchy Mama. Party time. And this is actually my Palo Santo, but it's the one that had the soda light on it for the throat, for the communication. So interesting. And I got a blue lighter. I feel like there's going to be a lot of communication that people are going to open up to now. They're going to be hearing things that maybe have been held back from people. Yeah, because we also have Aries energy with Venus energies and strength and passion, opportunities for people to speak about how they feel. Even if it's not romantic, it's just like, I'm going to speak my truth about how I feel about the situation. With love and with, harmony, with balance. I'm going to come from my heart when I do it, but I'm going to speak my truth with strength and courage. to see beyond the illusions, to blow away the false. The Antakarana is also, it's like a symbolic thing, but it's also around your body. It's like a tube of light prana. You can activate that by just repeating the word Antakarana, Antakarana, Antakarana. Did that the other day, and I keep seeing like signs and little synchronicities connected to it, and the Merkaba, the vehicle of light, which is this. And the Merkaba, I saw a thing on Facebook last night. It was a man and a woman, you know, like the man and the woman are sitting facing each other, and kind of like, you know, penetrate, like he's penetrating her. You can't see it obviously, but it's like they were making the shape of the Merkaba, and it was saying a specific thing about that energy. And it's 6:27 as I was at 27. I can show it to you so you know what I mean. So it says, when you make the 2 into 1, and when you make the inner as the outer and the upper as the lower, and when you make male and female into a single one, so that the male shall not be male and the female shall not be female, then you will enter into the kingdom. And this is actually from, somebody said it's from the Gospel of Thomas. So it's like something that's been, you know, written in. It's the two pyramids on top of each other or connected with each other. People call this the vehicle of light, the Merkaba, the light body, how we travel astrally out to the cosmos, into those energies beyond space and time. Okay. So if there's anything that has been blocked, anything that has not been spoken within yourself, within others in your life, any truth that needs to come to the surface, it can be done with love and compassion and peace in your heart. Also going to include a small piece of Palo Santo into the actual burning thing. I will add this like when I do it, but I'm going to use it before then too, because I'm going to do the burning ceremony separate from the this ceremony, because I can't bring the laptop and everything with me at once, but I will record it for you guys. So this is when we would do, you know, the folding part is like kind of a moment, you know, difficult, but you just do the best you can do with what you got. Refold it. You don't want to like flip them over, because then it disturbs all that prayer and that intention that we did. In the beauty. Oh, I didn't take a last picture of it. Take one more picture of the final beautiness. I'll show you guys the one that I had last year. It was right here. I just shared it the other day. Where is it? It's underneath this one. Right here. This is the one that I did when my mom passed away. I burned it into bow, but there was a lot of pinks in that one. Rose petals in that one too. Huh. Interesting. I didn't even realize. Okay, so fold. Oh, and when you fold like the Despacho, or you fold anything really, you can think of this as like feminine, masculine. So it doesn't matter which one, like it's up to you which one you would want to put on the bottom or which one you would want to put on the top, but a lot of people think of like, you know, putting the feminine underneath the masculine for protection. And then we take Pachamama, the spirit of the earth, and we bring her up, you know, her energy, her grounded stability from beneath us. And then we take this stars and the universal energies, our star brothers and sisters, the galactic nations, all the beings above, kind of like a taco. And we bring that down and make our big square. And I'm gonna tie this. I'm gonna use this thing. Really thick. This came out. How did it come out? Yeah. It's not good. Don't want to be in there. It's not going in there. Okay. No petrified wood, man. So I guess I'm gonna have to put these two together because I've had this freaking this so many years. I never knew what it was gonna be for. People would ask me. I'm like, I don't know. I just have it. It's like suede, but it just hit me that that's the one we're gonna use today. I'm gonna still use the gold because the gold's pretty. And it connects with the galactic energies, but it's not like long enough to do the whole thing. And we wrap it up nice. And then usually one person or all people, it doesn't matter. It's dependent on the circle and like if you guys are in person or where you're doing it. But you could have, a group of people present for the burning or they're putting into the water or for the burying of the bundle. But sometimes one person will take the responsibility of it and, carry it on for like a week and bring it somewhere sacred or do it in like, the mountains somewhere. But they try to do it within like a week or two from the time of actually making it. So it's not like it's a rush. You don't have to go like, throw it into the fire immediately, but you don't want it to, just sit either and get kind of messed up. So I feel like this golden energy is kind of like, it reminds me of the cords between twins, because twins all have like a silver cord. But I feel like there's like an upgrade happening right now. So people could be upgrading into these like different levels. When I do the new paradigm stuff, there's different colored chakras as we go up. And then when we integrate our chakras down, they start to be pearlescent in color and they shift the colors of the chakra system. So you may have stuff like that happening now collectively, people. And then this is also our connection to the Lyran energy with that gold, the abundance. Feels like. Can't really get it in there. Okay. Yeah. Put you underneath. Oh. All right. We're upgrading our software, our DNA, our strands of consciousness, our brains, becoming the light body, ascension. And then this messiness. I feel like I should include this with it because this was what held that. Actually, that shell is probably going to still be alive, like, you know, shell, not that. I might bury it with this like wrapped around it. So yeah, here we have that, and this big mess, but it is good. It's created, and you may have things over the next few days, like, you know, shifting anyways because of all the energies that are just happening collectively. It's like kind of hard not to be impacted by stuff, but this may kind of serve as a way to like bring balance to whatever is going on, because this has been, you know, the chaotic energy. It's always chaotic energy. Especially with the retrograde. It's like they really just got slammed with like all these. They really put a retrograde, a full moon, an eclipse, and the Pleiadian lineup all at one time. And the Pleiadian lineup is when they do experiments. They like will have like thousands of people come in, and then thousands of people go out. Like meaning like when I had my awakening, it was a very like boom, like I got knocked off my feet. Weird experience happened, and I was talking to someone last night. He was born yesterday, actually. It was his birthday, and he had the same thing, but his was in 2013. Like he had like a very sporadic crazy experience awakening, and that's what they do. They'll have like, you know, 100 people decide that their soul is going to have like a sporadic awakening or just a completely like reset. She went to the pyramids in Egypt and did things there. If you go onto starseedhotline.net, she has 2 podcast episodes on there that you can listen to about it, or you can read about it. But she had kept getting like guided to, you know, do stuff with certain crystals and do stuff and ask people about their birthdays. And all the people that she met around that time were born during the like Pleiadian lineup, or they had the 25, 26, 27 degree mark in either Scorpio or Taurus for one of their you know planets. And that's the 15th to the 20th is when those times are, you know, that's when that degrees is going to be present in those places. Everybody she met, like a whole plane full of people, a whole restaurant full of people, everywhere she went for months, always all the people would align to those times. They would have at least one star marking. And then a lot of famous people have the markings too, like, and it's almost like a magnetism or like an energy that people are attracted to. Like, I'm sure you guys, if you resonate with the starseed, you probably have had weird experiences. People tell you stuff that you normally probably wouldn't do other places. I don't know why I'm telling you this. And then people who will come to you and, you know, ask you where something is in the store, even though you don't work there. People who, you know, just are drawn to you. And children might stare at you, and dogs and cats and animals are just like, hey, what's up? And it's like that energy or something about it. But some of the star peeps that are like star peeps that have become Hollywood star peeps, they kind of maybe just let the ego take over a little too far sometimes. That can happen if there's too much of that high vibration or something. It's like they can't keep themselves together, or they take advantage of the fact that they have that light to share with the world, which is nothing wrong with that. There's plenty of people who are actors and famous people that are lovely people, that are good people, but there's also ones out there that have the star markings that are not very nice people, and people were all confused about that because it was like, why, like, how do they have that marking? It's just because, you know, they abuse their power. And that made so much sense for something that I had been like wondering myself with certain people in my life, because I've met a lot of starseeds over the years, and not all of them are the same type of energy. You know, like Orion is very logical, and then the Syrians are very emotional. So it's like it's just like Earth, you know, I have all these different beings here on Earth. But the markings, there's markings for like Atlantis, there's markings for healers, there's markings for Pleiades, markings for Sirius. I think July is when the Syrian lineup happens. But this is also a time where you might have a walk-in soul come in, not necessarily like take over your body or have like a sporadic awakening, but they can also just come in and check on you. So like you go to the store and somebody at the cash register just leaves a lasting impression on you, or it's a weird interaction with them that you keep thinking about later on, or just feel something different with them. That could be one of your guides walking in to check on your vibration and frequency and make sure that you're doing, what you need to be doing or whatever. But I've had a lot of weird experiences like that over the years. When I realized that that's like what it was, I'm like, oh my God. Like when I went to see, I did my mother's ashes in South Carolina, and the whole way there was, birds above us, like the hawks and the eagles and stuff. Like there was the whole way there, the highway. But then we stopped at several gas stations, and I swear to God, it was like the exact same woman was working in all of the gas stations, but she was obviously not, because we're in different states and stuff. But she looked exactly alike, and it was just weird. It was like one of those weird experiences that I kept like getting, like, is this really happening? So you might have weird stuff like that happen. I've noticed a lot more synchronicity just is here right now. So pay attention to the signs, don't dismiss things. Know that you're not crazy, that there really is a lot of stuff happening. But yeah, what is that? Is that a cat?
Bridget, that is my cat. That's the little light of Alcyone.
Oh my goodness. Hi.
Yes. And so sorry to interrupt with your thought. First of all, I want to say thank you for doing this for us. I know not many are here right now, but like you said, maybe later. My question to you is, are you going to have this video posted like on Facebook or anything?
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna like download it. And then because it's on Zoom right now, so I'll download it, put it on the Divine Essentials YouTube, and then when I burn this, I'm gonna like tack that onto the end of it. Like I'm gonna go burn it tonight, like right now, but I just don't bring everything with me.
Too many flammables. When you and thank you for like everything that you poured into that. It's so beautiful. Are you going to like make a list or anything? Because like I caught some of the stuff that you were putting in there, but not everything, because I wasn't taking notes. I want to be able to like, I love doing ceremonies, so I definitely want to be able to
like reconnect again.
Yes.
I can make up like a rundown of,
right, like you had something sweet, and then you had the grains to connect with, and when you were drawing the
stuff like whatever on
there. right, like your first layer, and you're putting all your directions in the sacred space with why am I not connecting with this, with the animals, the sacred,
the archetypes?
Yes, thank you, the archetypes. So
yeah, I can I'll make like a little boom thingy of it, like a rundown of what I did, and then in the event description is more details specifically about what you can use too on top of that, because like there's a huge list in there. Like I made a huge list of different because you have animal crackers, you can do that, whatever, but I'll tell you specifically what I used, and then the event description, I'll put that into the video description box. I don't know if it'll all fit. If not, I'll make like a link for a PDF that can be downloaded.
Okay. Thank you. That would be fantastic.
No problem. Thank you for joining and coming.
No, I am grateful for all you do and everything you teach. And I've been following you since you did the Moon Key when we were on lockdown. So,
oh, really?
So I did the rights with you back when you did them recorded on Vimeo.
Yeah, that's I still have them like that, like on the site now. Like people can do them that way, or occasionally I'll go live and do them with others. But
awesome.
Now I have this set up, so like I do stuff more often like this, but some is paid, some was free. It's always shifting and changing, but more than
it's beautiful. It's
Thank
beautiful.
you.
I love everything you do. So thank you.
Thank you. So yeah, I think we're good with that. I did have the dice here. I was noticing a lot of 8s, so I feel like there's a lot of abundance that is coming in, and I see 4, 4, 2, 2, 8, and 50. So again, with the foundations, there's abundance coming. I see 18 too. 18, 14, 4, 2, 11. These are weird dice. They're not like normal dice where it's like, oh, there's just one number. There's like unmastered amounts. But the 2s are the partnerships. The 4s are the foundation. I feel like a lot of people are going to come into like a harmonious place, even just a union within themselves, to change what they need to change, to come into that infinite place of like, you know, unifying duality, the darkness, the light, the good, the bad, the up and down, and creating a solid foundation underneath them for doing that. But the dice, you know, wanted to say something. So that's that. And I think that's basically it. Unless anybody else had anything they wanted to know. Did anybody have, did somebody say something?
Oh yeah, so sorry. I just said thank you so much. I really, really appreciate this.
Oh, good. I should have promoted it, huh? Like I had such a weird day. But it's good that there was only a few of us here because it you know, it would have taken forever to be like, here, blow it in, blow it in, blow it in. But I did forget to promote it. But I'm glad that you could join me. And I forgot. I think you messaged me the other day, Holly. I have not had a chance to like get into those messages yet, but I think
Yeah, take your time because like I appreciate you, and I know that too. Like everybody's like this energy has been really intense, so like I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's I cried all day yesterday, and it wasn't like for any specific reason, and just like needed to happen. But yeah, it's been intense to say the least. And you know what happened like last week, that just set me off on a whole like couldn't function at all. Still having a hard time with it. And I don't know why, because it's not personal, you know, but I've been taking it that way. Did you ask me a question in your message, or was there anything specific that you can ask me now, or is it something that you want to be private?
I mean, I guess it was more of just like, yeah, just to say like thank you for like last week with the live, and just to say that like I was like nervous doing it, but like I'm grateful that I got out of my comfort zone for it.
Cool, that's good. So it was cool to do. I liked doing that style, with the back and the forth too, because it's like we could, you know, give each other that. I think that confirmation is the thing that makes people get better at doing readings. It's like when you speak on that thing that they're like, yeah, that's like, oh.
Yeah, it did. Like I felt better. Like I did feel more confident when it was like back and forth. So I just like was like really grateful because that was like my first time being on camera too. Because normally I don't like to be on camera, so it was like definitely stepping out of the comfort.
You did good. I know. I noticed you didn't have your camera off, and I didn't want to be like, hey, because I didn't want to like, you know, be a weirdo. But now I can say it because you said it. But I'm glad that you did, because it does make people feel more safe and comfortable to connect with you, and then it gives you more confidence too when you realize like nobody's like there's, you know, there's no reason to hide. You know, we are who we are.
In the future, I will start being more active with the video camera on. I will make a more note of doing that.
It's okay either way, but yeah, you know, if you're going to be doing readings and stuff like that, it is a good, you know, to show people occasionally. I definitely am somebody though that will sit in my pajamas for like 3 days and not, because you just see my hands most of the times in my readings and stuff. So that was the benefit of that. But that can be bad for me because I can get to a depression and like not do shit, you know, and like there's some cards, go back to bed and cry, you know. Like, if I don't have to get up and get dressed and do something with myself, sometimes it's harder to force yourself when you're like in control of everything yourself, you know.
And like I work from home, so I do the same thing. Like most of the time I'm in my pajamas.
I'll take off my pajamas back on because it's like, what am I doing? It's like midnight by the time I get in the shower or something. So it can be, but I'll try to push myself to record. That's why I did the Alcyon light healing too, because that was going to push me to stay on like a thing. When I did the Monet Key every week, I had to at least get dressed once to be on camera. And then I tried to do that also in light healing, and they were like, "No, you're not going to be able to do that, but there will be times that you do, just not every week." I'm like, okay. The Lyme disease took me down hard, but I've been feeling a lot better now, so I think I'm on the swing up from there. Hopefully, stay on that way. But yeah, I think even just getting dressed can help with that too. Like when you have pain and stuff, it's like, let me, get out of my misery and put some action steps to my day and like, effort into how I look and feel. It's gonna make a difference for all peoples.
Yes. So yeah, I know how that. Yeah, like most of the time, like I just like do my hair any which way, or like just like put it up and like it's not making an effort because like at work we don't have to do video, so it's like, oh, I get just to be like, have bad habit, no one will know.
I know. It's an easy place to escape for sure, especially when there's like no need to ever be seen, really. I have this card here, Door to Spirit, and then the Yin Yang 22 came through. So it feels the world is the end of that cycle. 22 is the yin and the yang, so that's that balance and energy. The sun is here for clarity, communication, seeing where we're headed. And then the 5th chakra, which is the throat chakra and the blue energy that we were bringing in. I feel like people are going to be communicating with their communities. The Pleiadians energy is there too with the 7. If you've had financial like setbacks or whatever, I had split this. This is door to personal healing and happiness. But when I did this, I could see 13 was financial constraints. So I feel like if anybody's been having that, this is going to shift. That energy is going away. The journey forward is going to be shifting that energy. So speak affirmations positively, but don't envy, other people. Like if you have a community, like try to be like, oh, wow, look at, like appreciate the good stuff, the things that are blessings, because when we look at other people's blessings and we get like, I wish I had that, we actually keep it further away from ourselves because we feel separate from it, and we like acknowledge that. So if there's any like envies, try to shift it into appreciation of the good things in this world that are available to us, because if somebody else did it, that means I can do it too. And we can take our action and our travel forward to work hard and learn our lessons that we need to learn. Spirit is going to be making some judgment calls in our lives, but also bringing balance to our lives with the temperance palettes of passion, emotion, whatever contracts that we've had. Again, I feel like those are kind of like clearing out. And it's not, it doesn't, sometimes people get nervous when they hear that, especially on their twin flame journey. They're like, like, they're gonna leave, like it's the closing of it. It's a bit like people will think bad of it when it could just be the other possibility that the closing of their karmic contracts to bring the balance to your connection so that you can have the 10 of Cups, the completion with the divine, alignment either between you in both aspects of yourself and the partnership with yourself or with your divine person that you have that valuable new start with. So if you have subconscious fears and a tendency to go to that place of like fears, doubts, 8 of Swords, like you do that, try to realize those are illusions that we need to clear away so that we can balance the energy to have the 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of Cup energies. There's the 9 of Crystals, which is the 9 of Pentacles. So single, sexy, confident, independent. That's the way that we get that 10 of Pentacles, by embracing that energy now, like feeling good on our own. Because if we feel like the only way I'm ever going to have the 10 of Pentacles is if I have a King of Pentacles, or if I have a Queen of Pentacles, or if I have that thing, or that house, or that place, or something outside of me. I'm seeing the 8s again as I say this with the 4s. There's 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. The foundations are abundant. Everything is abundant. We can have whatever we want. We can manifest whatever we want, but we just need to be clear about it and trust it and know, like, I have everything I need right now to create my, like, if I decided, okay, like to be completely content and happy, my 10 of Pentacles, my ultimate fulfillment in life is to just be, by myself, living somewhere where, there it is, 10 of Pentacles, without that other person, or without that other thing, or without some element that a lot of times people place so much emphasis on it, they block themselves from it because they feel separate from it. But you got to feel like you got to be what you want to be, like become who you're trying to become. emanate that vibration of what you're wanting. Think it, speak it, create it, feel it, attract it. And that's how you either reconcile and come into the alignment with the right people or the right wisdom and the information, the opportunities that we've reflected on that are going to help us to clear the karma and to have our foundation, Four of Wands, come to fruition. So it's up to your mind basically to decide what is my end game. What does that look like? What does that feel like? Is it with him? You know, is it with somebody else? Is it justice for all the difficulties I've been through? Is it me being a high priestess by myself somewhere in the middle of like nowhere? Or am I going to be a mean, cold-hearted bitch? Like whatever you want to be, really, you can make whatever you want. But we defeat ourselves when we don't believe that about it, or that we place something that is outside of us, external, that we have no control over, as like the end all be all. If I don't have him, that specific man, then I'm never going to have this. Don't do that to yourself, because you'll never get it just through that belief system or through that expectation on it. So open the door to spirit and trust, and know that your emperor will come when you release the resistance and the craziness that we can hold on to around those energies. The transition is death, the death of the old versions of ourselves, you know, the limits that we placed on ourselves. We've tied ourselves up in freaking anxiety and stress for no reason. And our happy family is right around the corner. So is the door to romance. So anything you've been wanting, manifesting, angel of love is coming in to help you open that gate to do so. And there's the death again, confirming sacred change. So yeah, I think good things are coming. This is the Starseed, Saturn Starseed Tarot. It's a little different from the normal, but there's the Empress with abundance. So thank you guys for joining me for this. I'm probably going to do these more often again, because it is a good thing to do. And you don't need to have, you know, anything specific or special. You can do it yourself for different intentions. You can go on Shaman's Market too, and they have like kits that you can buy for them. And then there is, like I said, the different names. It's like the Inti one, or they have like Quero shaman words that tie to them. But you can, you know, see one's for Mother Earth, one's for this, one's for that. And you can just make one up if you wanted to. It's just basically how everything in this world has come to be. Somebody decided to do something and other people agreed. So whatever you want to do. But yeah, I'm going to go burn our thing and put the two videos together, and I will upload them onto the Divine Essentials channel so other people can add their energy. And I think we're good. Unless anybody has anything else they need from me or wanted to say. I can't even see. I get this light that's like right. All right. So thank you guys. I will see you again soon.